So how's the goal setting working for you? Have you got it pegged? Is it all working? Do you set your goals and achieve them? Well, my name's Elaine Sullivan. I'm a coach and I work with women to help them gain more control, feel less stressed and create a life of their own making. And occasionally that creating a life of their own making does mean to say that they have to set goals. Now, my challenge around goal settings is that a lot of people don't achieve them, and they don't achieve them for very many reasons, but mostly because they end up being demotivated and actually can't be bothered anymore. I'm thinking of all of those New Year's resolutions that we all make. Very few of us actually see it through to the end of the year. And what is it then that's happening in our heads that's actually stopping us? Why do we self-sabotage? I'm going to use the thought of getting fit, maybe losing some weight, only because I can be very clear in what I mean by those things. For other more esoteric things that we might want to achieve, your goals and how you approach them would have to be quite targeted. But I just want to talk in a little bit more generalistic terms. So the industry says that the best way of goal setting is SMART goals. Specific, measurable, autonomous, realistic and timely. Now, I think that's really good as far as it goes. However, where in all of that is the motivation to keep us moving? I'm going to create myself a goal. My goal is that by the end of the month, I want to lose in 4 weeks' time, I want to lose half a stone. So is it specific? Sounds specific to me. Half a stone in weight within 4 weeks. Quite specific. Very measurable. I can get onto the scales and I can see whether my weight is going in the right direction or not. And then I can adjust myself accordingly. It's very autonomous. There's nothing else that I have to do to actually do that goal apart from eat sensibly and maybe exercise more. Very realistic. We're told that 2 to 3 pounds a week is actually the ideal weight loss. So that's perfect. And timely. I've got 4 weeks to do it in. So in all seriousness, that goal should work well. I should be able to start tomorrow and decide that I'm going to lose my half a stone. So what happens? Well, I get up tomorrow morning and I'm really enthusiastic about doing it. So I really watch what I wear. I really watch what I eat, and I make sure that perhaps I get off the bus or stop early to add a little bit more exercise. So that's great, day one. Day two, it's great, but we're in the office, it's somebody's birthday and that person's got cakes and all those donutty things I really love. But I've still got some willpower, so I'm going to avoid those, and I'll say no, I won't take those today, and I maybe go and get a piece of fruit. Day three, it's my exercise day. I'm going to get up, I'm going to go for a run. So what happens is I get up and I go for a run. So I carried through the first week perfectly. I've lost 3 pounds and I'm really, quite okay with that. So the second week comes around and that I've lost those 3 pounds, so I'm feeling pretty good. So maybe, just maybe, what I can do is I can just ease off a little bit, because it's only 2 to 3 pounds a week that I should be losing anyway. So what I then end up doing is perhaps, maybe not that cream cake, but I'm not going to run quite so long today. And then tomorrow it's wet and windy and horrible, and I don't really feel like getting out of my lovely warm bed for my freezing cold running gear and going out and running. And so it goes on, and what ends up happening is that by the end of the month that motivation is gone. I may have lost a few more pounds, but I haven't reached my goal, and then I become demoralised. And then because I'm demoralised, I'm less likely to set another continuous goal for the following month to maybe get myself down a little bit lower in weight. So how do we overcome this? So over here, behind my shoulders, is the Edison method of goal setting. So Edison was actually really good. He was the one that he was the one that created the light bulb, and he was very good at making sure that he continued through with everything that he did. And this is based on his name, a bit like the SMART goals. Each letter has a separate identification, And for me, this form of goal setting is more likely to set yourself up to win. So let me briefly go through it. E, for the Edison, is actually about emotion. It's about making sure that you have an expression around what it is that you're going to do. So let's have a look at that goal setting of losing weight. What does half a stone mean to me, apart from the fact that I stand on the scale and it shows that I'm 7 pounds lighter? What it means to me is I'm going to fit into that really nice dress, that one that I bought that my husband really loves. And when I put that on and I go out for the evening meal that we've got planned in a month's time, which is why I want to lose the weight in the first place, I'm going to feel really good. My husband's going to look at me, he's going to comment on it, and it's going to make me feel even better. That really is emotion. That's really, I can feel that, I can make sure that I understand what that's going to feel like, and I can express my goal within that emotion. So it's not about losing the 7 pounds. Now it's about fitting into that really beautiful dress that I've got. The second one is decision. Now decision should be an easy one. We make a decision, we have a goal, but really decisive. What is it that you're really, truly going to do? It's not just about making the decision to lose the weight. How am I going to lose the weight? How am I going to make sure that I have the appropriate foods? How am I going to avoid all of those potential temptations that are going to come? John's birthday next week. There's going to be cake in the office. I've got a meal that I've got to go out to. What choices can I make? If I know where my pitfalls are before I start, then I'm better placed to be able to overcome them, because I can overcome them from the position that I am in today, not in the moment when I've got pressure around me of somebody saying, oh, go on, one cake, it won't make a lot of difference. So be really decisive. The next thing, the I, is integrated. How do I make sure it's integrated? There is no point in me deciding that my goal to lose some weight, my goal to fit in that beautiful dress is one goal, but I also have a mental goal at the back of my head which is actually about socializing, and then I will be socializing having a meal 4 times a month. The two do not go hand in hand. So unless I make sure that how I feel about my goals and how I operate in other ways, or if I've got multiple goals that they all interlink, unless I make sure that they're fully integrated, then I'm never going to be able to achieve it. The next one is sensory. We've already talked slightly about that, about the emotion around what it is I'm going to do. But that sensory thing, how am I going to feel when I'm sitting there on a day-to-day basis, when my stomach hasn't got that full feeling, when I've overeaten? How am I going to feel when I put that dress on? What is the food that I'm going to eat? What does that smell like? What does it taste like? How am I going to prepare it so that already my taste buds are watering, and therefore I'm looking forward to having a really beautiful meal at the end of the evening that is low calorie and low fat or low carbs, whatever diet is your choice. So make it really sensory. Be totally optimistic. It's funny, goals sometimes make us really pessimistic. Oh, I'm never really going to achieve that. And if I'm already in that situation and that thought, then I'm not going to achieve it. So be optimistic about what it is that you're going to do. Maybe I would love to lose 10 pounds. So maybe that's my stretch target. Maybe that's the one I will aim for. And then, once I'm into that lovely dress, how do I feel about it? And I will be able to think of extra things that I can do that's going to help me lose a little bit of weight. Maybe it's, doing some extra walking. Maybe it's about, I don't know, I'm going to go and do some dancing. I love dancing. If I dance all night, I'm sure that's a couple of 100 calories. So I can do other things that keeps me bright and upbeat and optimistic. But the main one is now. Do it now. Don't put it off until tomorrow. Don't think next month will be better. Make sure you are in the moment. Take your goals, really feel them, really be optimistic. Make sure that they're going to fit into part of your lifestyle. Decide how you're going to do it and how you will avoid some of the pitfalls, and bring all that emotion together. And if you follow this Edison goal setting rather than SMART goal setting, the chances are you might better succeed.